What are digital debt? We are live, and thank you very much, everybody, for coming in and saying hi and getting this on the road. Just bear with me a few seconds. We're going to rock into some more rock and roll here as I share these links with everybody. Cut the music, man. Hey, Jason, welcome to another edition of Raffle.com. And we're going to get into tonight's entertaining sector of this whole portion. And we're going to talk about a couple things that have happened in the last 48 hours after Colin Powell, after Mr. Powell made his announcement, which got, in my opinion, overdone, completely overdone. I'm thinking this was a Democratic poll because there's no reason for the sell-off. We did get 25 basis point cut. We did get an unexpected voice out saying that that they're looking at fundamentals. So there is no reason to think that this was the last cut. I'm pretty sure that everybody that's in here thinks that there should have been a rate cut. Yeah, isn't that's? But you know what the best part about that is, Jason? How much volume was there? There was a massive amount of volume. So we've had, what was it, 50 trillion? So if you do the math, that's 120 trillion in 2 days. Okay, we are already at 1.4 trillion, changing hands within the last 20 minutes. That means it's some major manipulation going on in SHIB right now. That's the whole gist of it right there. So we are like literally being shortened by somebody and by massively buying by another person or a group of people. So you can expect a massive bounce off of this. And I'm guessing we'll probably see it around the 34. Like I said, we'll get a bounce back. It'll probably be around the 40, 404, and it'll happen fairly quickly because somebody bought a lot of supply. I mean, a lot of supply, like enough to make a little bit of a difference. So yeah, I'm expecting massive bounce off of this. I don't know when that bounce is going to come, but I would think pretty quick here, because now we're trading below our support levels, like well below our support levels. Our support levels are around here. Okay, you can see my cursor. Yeah, if you can see it, then that's great, because that's where we're trading at right now. So we're going to give some massive shout outs to everybody. Massive shout out to Jason Cox. Massive shout out to Rowena. When I know they're coming, I don't know when they're coming in, but they'll be coming. Rowena and Babe's channel. Prince, I'm not sure, but he should be coming in shortly too. I just put it on. I just put it out there for people. The links on Facebook and on X, and I'm now on Blue Skies. So I put the word out on Blue Skies as well. Might try and change things up a little bit with Rumble. Might try and get on Rumble and see how it goes from that point of view. But yeah, if you want to know what's going on, that's what's going on. So Powell made a big statement, but that statement was very short. And then he answered a bunch of questions. And how do I know it's being shorted? If you looked at what was going on, and the amount of sell-offs is ridiculous. It's just insane. Okay, so we had 900 and something points on the NASDAQ wiped out. And I'm pretty sure that's all Democrats that caused that. Like 90% sure that's all Democrats. Because what Colin Farrell said was, he just made his regular announcement saying that the numbers are better than expected. No, he came out and he was dovish on it. So, like, they cut 25 basis points. Nothing was done about the 25 basis point. Like, everybody is expecting 50 basis point cut just before Christmas. And then he came out and said that the employment is better than expected. Well, of course it's better than expected. Everybody's hired for the holiday season. They don't, like, back in November, everybody's getting hired for the Christmas season. Black Friday's coming, like all this kind of stuff is adding to people buying merchandise. Now, what's going to happen in January? Emergency meeting again, where they're going to have to cut rates again because of unemployment is going back up because, it was seasonality. Most of the people are losing their jobs because exactly. It's all retail, right? So, like, that's what I'm saying. It's all driven by the Democrats. The Democrats hated it that the markets bounced up so high. They want to blame it all on Trump. So that's why they dump it. And there's no reason why we have this sell-off. There is zero reason for this sell-off, except for to drive fear into people. And what did the media do? The media took that little bit of fear that was out there, just a tiny bit of fear, and just exploded it. So then you have a sell-off, a massive sell-off, right? Is it justified? No. When can we see a rebound in this, though? Well, in SHIB's case, it's all about the numbers. Everybody's about the numbers game, because there's a lot of people that are uneducated in SHIB. Yeah, big thumbs up to Prince. Big thumbs up to Babe's channel. Thanks for coming. Big shout out to you. So if you want to know why SHIB sold off, but SHIB is selling off like exceptionally more than the rest. Because we have a lot of people coming in. Remember, we had 4,000 people coming in yesterday. There's almost 1,000 new wallet holders today. Almost a new 1,000 wallet holders today. So who's selling, right? If there's so many people coming into SHIB, why are there so many selling off then? Well, you got to look at the volume. Okay. How many are selling and how many are buying? And there's a huge amount of activity for buying. we've had 120 trillion SHIB, and in just a half an hour is 1.57 trillion, like in a half, like in 30 minutes. Here, let me go back in here. It's right up here. It's right here. 1.64, is that right? Look on here. 1.65 trillion, 1.66. Okay, so you see how fast it's growing. We have gone down, and now we're getting a little bit of a spike upward. The truth of it is it was oversold. It shouldn't have been sold off at all. It should have bounced off of whatever Colin had to say, right? Not Colin, Powell. What Powell had to say. Because all of that was all exacerbated on the Christmas rally. They took it away from the Christmas rally, and that's fear-mongering between, I believe, the Democratic Party reading that fear to everybody. And that's why, yeah. So big shout out to Rowena Burgess. Big shout out to Wena. Big shout out to Babe's channel. Woo! Big shout out to Prince. Woo! Big shout out to Jason Cox. And Prince is my trustee, also my marketing director. So just keep that in mind as you come in and check out. Make sure you give everybody a hula. And we'll get right into the raffle. I've had to go and make some changes on the website, so please make sure you come to the website every day and check it out, because yeah, I don't get paid unless I sell tickets, right? So gotta keep that in mind too. So we don't everything we do with the website is free. All our educational platforms that are out there right now are 100% free to everybody. Like, we don't hold anything back, as Jason and Prince, Wena, and Babes already know. That's why it's so important to broadcast it. I don't know why the SHIB community won't touch this channel. Really not my concern personally, but would be nice to get the followers in here. I am on Yellow Pages, so if you wanted to look us up on Yellow Pages, be more than freely to do so. All it is on Yellow Pages is it is just supposed to be a funnel to the website. It does have a little bit in there about the channel and about us coming live on every day and talking about hosting the raffle. Right now we are, let's get back into the website. Where is the website? Okay. So get back into the website, and yes, we would have been able to host this at 5 minutes ago. So we're 5 minutes late with the raffle. But if we go in and look at the stats, yeah, we have no orders. So we would be hosting the raffle tomorrow. Every 24 hours, we don't make that deadline of 21,000 tickets sold. All the money is held in escrow until we have 21,000 tickets, or until we get to 30 days. Then we would host a raffle regardless. If we don't make the 21,000, there is nothing held back. It's 100%, 50% of it going to the winner, 50% of it going straight into the burn. There's no money held back, just so that you know. All the money would be given out, distributed. So just so you know that we wouldn't even make a dime on that deal, right? If it's under 21,000 tickets sold, we don't make any money. Everything goes, it's 50-50. Everything goes towards the community and the winner. Okay. And that's just the way it's set up. That's why we wait 30 days before we do it. 30 to 31 days. Try and get as many people as possible to view the website before making a decision, because you have to do a little bit of research, a little bit of reading. You have to read the rules and conditions. of the raffle before buying a ticket in the raffle. So that to be aware of. Let me go check this out again. I think it's higher now. Yeah, it's higher. So I gotta make changes to the website, guys. Just give me a second. Yeah, because it's now 1,476,000. Okay, so there we go. So those changes are made. Yeah, because it's when you look at this 1,475,000, now it's 1,476,075. So on my website, actuality is it's fluctuating, right? It's 1,476,000, I believe 32,032. So take a grain of salt on that one, but I'm usually more bullish when it comes to numbers. So I usually on the wall holders, I usually put it up because if I don't get at it right away, those numbers do change quite often, quite quickly. So we'll look at a couple things with the statistics. So we'll get into the 21,000 shibs weren't sold. The tickets, we have to sell 21,000 tickets, not 21,000 shibs, 21,000 tickets. Now those tickets it looks like they've gone up in value, but actually you're getting more shib for your dollar is what it is. So when the price goes down, there's less supply because all of a sudden now there's more tickets available. No, there's less tickets available because the price has gone down. Makes sense? So when we burn it, there's actually more that we're burning when the price is lower. So just so that everybody has an idea of what that means. So when it goes up, when the price goes up, there's more tickets available instantly. It's just the way it works. So the higher we go, the less there's more and more tickets available because it takes more and more tickets to burn that amount of shib, right? Makes sense? So if it's going down, there's less supply to be burned because the tickets now hold so much shib in it. Exactly. That's the whole purpose of it. That's that driving force that we're trying to get in so everybody understands what's going on. So the lower the price is, the more we can burn. Absolutely. Yes. Now you get it. So the amount of tickets that you can sell is getting less and less and less as it goes down, 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 down. As it goes up, 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 price goes up, tickets become more available because you're not getting the same amount of shib that's on the same platform for the half a pound. Make sense? I hope so. So without further ado, we'll get right into what are we going to do tonight? We said we're going to talk about the website a little bit because now we turn into an educational platform. So after we talk about us whoop-de-looing and having a great time, we would have 5 minutes before we host the raffle. If we had a raffle draw tonight, what we'll do, Jason, we'll do something special on the weekend. On Saturday, I'm hoping what we'll do on Saturday is we'll actually host a raffle draw. We'll just make up some numbers and host it like we sold tickets to it. If we haven't sold any tickets by then, I'm hoping that we don't have to do that. We can just go ahead and have a raffle. That would be amazing. But yeah. So where are we sitting right now for shib's price? We're sitting at 4021584. That is incredibly low. Way beyond where it should be. Like I'm expecting a huge bounce, and we'll look at a few things here. So I'm going to share this link with you. This is the coin carp. This is the 100 wallet holders. Now, it is not accurate, right? Within 24 to 48 hours. So just to give you a heads up. So on number 5 was 310 billion shib sold. No, 310 billion shib moved, not sold. Please keep that in mind. It's been moved. And that's on crypto.com, I believe. And then these two here, Robinhood, these are both BlackRock and Robinhood. So 479 billion was moved or bought, and it's probably bought. Binance, up the top, only put 1 million. So there's nothing going on at the top. So these are both BlackRock and Robinhood. So either or, right? Okay, X at 114 billion. Binance took 26 billion off the table. Didn't touch that one. Crypto.com, 66 billion added. 119 billion taken out. 202 billion taken out. 23 billion added. So I'm thinking that was just moved. See the 399 taken out. 310. So either they took it off or put it onto a DeFi wallet. 1.8 billion, 1.8 trillion, sorry, taken off the table. Now let's go look at the burns. Check out the burns. Okay, so we have some burns going on. We have 3.5 million 2 hours ago, and 16 hours ago we had 1 million. 19 hours ago we would have had 100,000 SHIB taken off the table. Yesterday we had 2.874 million SHIB taken off the table and 1.463 million taken off the table and 1.701 million taken off the table. Okay, so in the last little while, we haven't had a lot of information that's on the burns, just so that everybody can see that. We'll go back here to the, we'll show everybody the coin, Ethereum, Etherscan. So everybody can see that. That's 0.65. See, it does change, right? So just refreshed it. So everybody can see that. So it does change. It does change. It doesn't change as rapidly as we want it to. We want it to actually go through the roof. So DJ, if you're out there, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Gabriel, if you're out there, make sure that you're coming on and making sure you're visible. Give a hands up, thumbs up. Make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you tell everybody about us. We're the only representatives of SHIB that do this. We are the only ones. There's no one else that does live raffle draws for everybody. Kind of envious of Oscar Romas because I was looking at his went on his live broadcast and he had 964 in an hour. Wow, that really shocked me. It was like 964 viewers that were coming on and viewing him, which was awesome. And that's a massive shout out to Oscar for hosting and having a live event that's special. But again, they talk about charts. They talk about MargX. They talk about different avenues of different cryptocurrencies. I don't. I specifically just cover SHIB. They can cover those currencies if they choose to. I just don't want there to ever be someone coming back and saying that this lost so many people, it lost so much interest, it lost me so much money, blah 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 blah, and you supported it and say, well, we all got blindsided. I don't want that to come back out and say that because I know how companies are, and that's why I got out of the stock market, is because I talked to the companies. I'd phone them up and ask them, so what are you doing for, where are you going and what are you doing for investors? And the first thing they say is, why do you care? I'm like, well, I'm an investor. And then they give you the runaround. They're doing this, they're doing that, they're doing this. But it makes it sound better than what it actually is. So you know they're in trouble because their stock isn't going anywhere. And it hasn't moved in 6-7 months. And then you ask them certain questions and they give you the runaround. Well, that means that you better find a new investment because these guys don't have a clue what's going on, or they have a clue, but they just don't want to tell anybody. They don't want to lie to you. Or things are so bad that their company's up for sale and they don't want anyone to know about it. That's usually the gist of it. Usually after I talk to them, guess what they offer right away? Either they're offering warrants or rights. So I'm like, great. That means it's time to get out of them. Sometimes if you get into a right, you can make money. Absolutely. But the amount of money you're going to make is between 4 and 5% on your return. So it's no great return. A warrant, all a warrant does is buy them time. So they made a mistake on something and they're being punished for it by their bookkeeping. So they issue warrants. Now, what happens if you issue too many warrants? Well, then you have to do a reverse stock split if you can't meet the mandate of those warrants. So what happens is I made a warrant. I got to do another warrant because I got to raise money for this. Okay. And then I got to raise money because I don't have enough money to pay the last warrant. So I need to raise more money for that warrant so I can pay the first warrants off. You see where we're going with this? All of a sudden they go, no, we're not going to be able to pay those warrants. So we're going to do a reverse stock split, 10-1. And guess what? You have 100,000 shares, 10-1, you have 10,000 shares. Then they do another reverse stock split, 10-1. Again, another 10-1. So your 10,000 is now 1,000. So you just got liquidated. You just completely got liquidated. So why do I not want to cover their other currencies? Because it's financial companies. And right now we're in a financial crisis. And every single one of those organizations that are out there that are struggling, that would look at getting warrants where if you're in crypto, there's no such thing. There's no such thing as a right. There is reverse though. They can reduce the amount of circulating supply that they have with a reverse split. They can do. SHIB can't do any of that. SHIB's got zero governance. Zero governance. They can't split. They can't. They can't ask for rights. They can't ask for warrants because there's no CEO, CFO in the company. They can't. Those are gone. Okay, so there's no one to pay if things get bad. No, that's the thing. Why is SHIB then selling off? How many of them are educated? It all comes back down to the same thing. They're not educated enough in SHIB. And trust me, when you see a sell-off like this, it's all fear. 900% fear. It's got nothing to do with fundamentals at all. Zero. In fact, SHIB should have just bounced back with a vengeance. With a vengeance. If people were paying attention. If they were smart, it would have bounced right back to 44. And it would have killed so many people because all of them sold it. And then now all of a sudden it's back to where it was before it even started to sell off. Exactly. Because that's what good companies do. That's what good valued plays get, is usually a bounce back because there's nothing there that says that this was part of that mix. Exactly. But because crypto is based on fear and based on volatility and less on facts, that's why you have such drastic sell-offs. And you can tell that by the amount of sell-off there is. It is a whopping trillions of SHIB. 1.83 in the last, half an hour? Half an hour since I've been covering it. Almost 2 trillion SHIB trading hands. And look at where it's at. 2.40, 2.172. I need to go buy some actually. Right? I need to go put some money in it because this is ridiculous. It's to the point where it's like, well, it might be a little too early to buy something. Well, that's the thing. You don't know. Nobody's got a crystal ball. But usually when something that is diving, you don't want to be throwing your money under it, right? You want to wait for that bounce back. So you miss out on the bottom, but you miss only by about 5 or 6%. You don't want to be buying it. Like if you're DCAing in because you're below your threshold, that's fine. But make sure that you're only putting in what you can afford, right? So, $25, $30, $10, $12, whatever it is whatever your flex point is, that's, got to remember that when you put money into SHIB at this point and you're down like 4 or 5% or 20%, it's not going to make too much of a difference to you. You have to wait for it to actually drop from here, where it'd be 20% down on your money, right? Not its money, but 20% down where you would think that, oh, this is a good time for me to enter. Exactly. So got to keep that in mind too. DCAing in is absolutely a great idea, especially in SHIB, because you're gonna make your money back tenfold or 100-fold or 1,000-fold eventually, but we don't know when. So if you don't know when, the idea is only invest in what you're willing to lose. So treat it like a lottery ticket, please. Okay, so whatever you lose in a lottery ticket, that's what you would use to buy your SHIB with. So you got to keep that in mind. Keep it with a grain of salt. Therefore, if it doesn't do anything, it doesn't hurt you, because the money would have been gone if you bought a lottery ticket anyway. The only thing is with SHIB is you're guaranteed that you're going to make money on it. Yes, but how much money? Well, that's the other thing. Depends on what your risk tolerance is and how far you want to see your gains go. So when it's going, don't be afraid to take profits. In SHIB, it's a little different story. Take what your initial investment out. To me, that's like if you only put in what you would have put in a lottery ticket, that makes 0 sense. Your price target is roughly around $1, $2, $3. See what happens. See what happens. I don't know what the ceiling is right now on SHIB, because before, remember, they were dropping the ceilings down, so it was at 3,000. There was a 15 trillion SHIBs at that market. That's the thing, that they put a big bar in there. No one can get above it. So then they drop it down to 28. Then they probably dropped it down to 26. I'm not sure. I know it was at 28, 4028, 14 trillion something. And it's them doing it. They're manipulating it lower because they want to buy it all. Now I'm thinking BlackRock, Grayscale, name any of the banks out there. China could be doing it. Russia could be doing it. I'm not sure who, but someone is definitely taking advantage of it. There's a lot of whale activity, and I mean a lot of whale activity. There's somebody out there buying a lot of SHIB from people. So that, to me, that's manipulation, and it has to come from the top, because only ones that have that much SHIB are Binance, Robinhood, BlackRock, and Crypto.com. They're the 4 top wallet holders that hold that much SHIB, that they're the only ones that could possibly do it. Because OKX only has 10 trillion SHIB. Okay, that's all they have is 10 trillion, almost 11 trillion SHIB. So even if they had 20 trillion SHIB, it's still at that point where they wouldn't pull that stunt, because if they got liquidated and it went above it, they would lose their shirt, because they would have 15 trillion and they only have 5 trillion left. If they had 20 trillion, if they have 10 trillion or 11 trillion, and there's 15, no, that's not them doing it then. Okay, you don't know about Grayscale? Okay, Grayscale, guys, is another bank. Okay, and they usually buy up, but gotta be careful with Grayscale, because Grayscale is same as BlackRock. They're like a little ruthless, and what they do is they'll split up their wallets, so they won't be competing with the top wallet holders. They'll be way at the bottom buying billions, hundreds of billions of SHIB, but they won't be in the trillions. Okay. and they'll try and keep that number under 400 billion, because we can only see the top 100 wallet holders. So they want to stay under that margin. Please keep that in mind. So they could have 40 wallets or 80 wallets based in the concept that they're holding that much SHIB. Okay. The other thing is they can move it off of the other exchanges, but everything it's going on Ethereum. Okay. So SHIB is part of the Ethereum network. So just like Bonk is part of Solana's network, and Pepe part of the Solana network. That's what separates Shiba apart from them, because you have to go on their exchange to find out how much volume is being traded on them compared to SHIB. SHIB is like number one in the world when it comes to volume, trading volume, usually just behind BTC. Okay. And the most looked upon crypto is always SHIB's always in the number 3 spot. Okay. Always in number 3. So between 1, 2, and 3, SHIB is always in that range. BTC is not always in that range. Ethereum is not always in that range, but SHIB is. Okay. So keep that in mind. What else can we say? There are other banks looking at SHIB, yes, but I don't know exactly which ones. I can make an assumption saying it's a Hong Kong bank, and you can take that with a grain of salt. I know that Japan's looking at SHIB, but I don't think the government is looking at SHIB. I don't think the Japanese government is looking at SHIB. I think that only the crypto exchanges are looking at SHIB from Japanese standpoint. Korea, North Korea, South Korea, none of them are looking at SHIB. South Africa might be. I'm not sure if they are or not. I know Turkey was looking at SHIB 2 years ago when me and you got into it, Jason. And they were doing, and they were trying to think of how they could possibly incorporate Turkish dollars for SHIB. And they couldn't. The guy that was involved, he's not in economics. Okay. So he's a professor at some university, and he took law. Okay. So he has a good background, but he doesn't have anything in economics. So, and he tried talking to his team about incorporating SHIB, but they were saying SHIB was so volatile. Well, remember when we got into it, Jason, 2 years ago, SHIB was going down. Okay. Nobody wanted to touch SHIB as a currency. Nobody wants to touch SHIB when it's going down as a currency. Only time that they talk about SHIB as a currency is when SHIB's going up. And that's the truth of it. The volatility scares most people. They don't see it for what it is. And they don't want to do the research to see where the faults are that they could make an insane amount of money off of. They just don't want to. And it doesn't cost them anything more because they're already in massive debt. So what's another, $10 billion into these countries that are already up over their head in hundreds of billions of dollars in debt? Taking another $10 billion is actually not that bad, or $20 billion take on that kind of debt. It's not that bad, in my opinion, because it's all going to something that's going to make them money. So again, not seeing it for what it is can hurt people because you don't understand what it is. And that was the whole point of the 50-50 raffle in the first place, was to gain popularity and gain in educational purposes, so that the platform would actually sell itself. That's the whole purpose of anything that we're doing, right? So you want to know what Grayscale is? That's what Grayscale is. Another bank that likes to compete with BlackRock, Morgan Stanley, all those big banks, Fidelity, are looking at SHIB, but they're not looking at SHIB. They talking to their accountants telling them no, red flags. Because as soon as they do any research into SHIB, what's the first thing that they see? Even my good trustee said the same thing to me. They have a governance. They have governance. They have a CEO. They don't have a CEO. Yeah, they do. They have the ecosystem. SHIB ecos. No. They got hijackers. What? No. They got people who love to hijack the name. They like to call it their own, but they have nothing to do with it. They put all these promises behind every project they've ever held, saying they're going to do all these great things for the SHIB community. Because SHIB community is so massive, over 5 billion strong. Over 5 million strong, not 5 billion, 5 million strong. And they're afraid of losing them. They're very afraid of losing them so bad that they've put up firewalls to protect themselves against people leaving. And then everybody else is called a fraud. Anyone saying anything against the ecosystem development team are frauds. Okay, look what happened to Lola. Just recently, Lola got ousted on X, and she's a paying customer on X, and they backlashed her because she mentioned something about the ecosystem development team. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but according to other sources, yeah, something was said. Someone didn't like it. They banned her, and now her account is suspended on X. And she's part of the massive movement for the SHIB army, SHIB community, SHIB family. So you got to be careful what you say. Absolutely. I've said a bunch of stuff too, and it got me banned from the team. Because I went with, if you go to Matthew Perry, you go to Clay Bro, influencers, they have the same problem. Okay, Matthew was actually on the board. He wasn't paid. He wasn't paid on the board, but he was on the board. Okay, and somebody ran their mouth off, and Matt didn't like it, and yeah, they threw him out. They just literally threw him out. So he's got. There's not much he can. There's not much he says good about the ecosystem development team. The only thing he says is watch what they do next. Okay, so whatever they're planning to do with Treat, whatever they plan to do with Bone, it's going to have very little effect on SHIB. And the metaverse, same thing. Oh, we promised we were going to do this with the metaverse, and SHIB was supposed to be their land plots to purchase land in the metaverse, and then they went and changed it to leash. Wow, really? Yeah. And they came up with a whole systematics on how they're good, because they already had leash incorporated, right? They already had leash substantiated. They needed to do that. Now, no one's ever heard of the metaverse now because they just went to, I don't know what happened to it. And then Shibarium came out. They promised the same thing with Shibarium. Shibarium was going to use SHIB as gas fees. Nope, they minted a whole bunch of Bone so they could host Bone as a gas fee on Shibarium, and left SHIB out in the cold. And then they came up with a system that was supposed to help reduce SHIB circling supply. And then they went and backstabbed it, saying it's going to get 1/10 of every single transaction. 1/10 of every single transaction. So now, and then what they did was, oh, we got some burns coming in. Okay. After they did the burns, a hard fork it. Now the hard forked it again. Hard fork it again. Okay, so now you need billions of SHIB not SHIB. You need billions of transactions before we start burning SHIB. Wow, that's insane. Why would you do that? And then that turns into a lie. Well, no, it's not a lie. We just wanted to make sure that the validators got their fair share of SHIB, of the money for the transferring of these tokens. Then they came out with Shiboshis. And they shortchanged everybody on the Shiboshis because they sold it to them. Nope, they confiscated it, and then they sold it live on live stream. Thank God, a lot of people are not, they're well-to-do. What's going on, because they refuse to buy the Shiboshis. and the ecosystem team loses all credibility when it comes to SHIB, helping host SHIB circulating supply. They lose all credibility. We even me, on the website we have down there, Shibarium did burn 56 billion SHIB last year. Okay. So they did do a good thing. Absolutely. They burned 56 billion. Now, anyone trying to burn though, besides them, they don't like it. They in fact hated it because they know for a fact that's going to drive more people to SHIB, and they want more people to be focused on Bone Leash, Shiboshis, Treat, Shiba Swap 2.0. They want them focused on those aspects of their ecosystem. They will try and get people away from SHIB, period, and get it into their ecosystem because they go that, well, that's where the money is. Well, that's not where our money is. Our money is in SHIB, period. Period. And right now, we look at SHIB's prices at 402169. It's making a little bit of a bounce, but not enough to buy, not enough to sit and say, okay, well, it's okay to start jumping in now. No. You don't want to get caught in a dead cat bounce. But we got oversold. Absolutely, we were oversold. No, we shouldn't have sold off at all, guys. We shouldn't have sold a god dang thing. You got suckered, basically. Sorry, whoever sold got suckered into selling and got caught up in the fear. Now you're able, if you did it at the top, you're laughing because now you have a chance to buy it at the bottom. But in order to sell at the top, you'd have to see the pattern of the Fed making their announcement. And then the Fed announcement that was made was so small and so insignificant, and it was not great news. It was more dovish than positive. And it had a whole bunch of errors in it. Powell said he made a statement that erased the statement that he was in. So it's an oxymoron. Okay. So what happened was he made a statement saying that we love the fact that the economy is doing better than what we expected. We still see inflation continuing to rise a little bit in October, but it took a sidebar in November. Then we had unemployment rate reach a little lower than one expected. And we have massive growth coming forward. 2.3% growth in a period where you're hiring more people to make up for the season's employment is not growth. So it wiped each other out, right? He's making one statement saying that the economy is in good standings. It's not in good standings. The only reason why your unemployment rate is low is because they've had to hire more people to take on the holiday season sales in retail. It happens every single year. Okay, they look at the fundamentals. We just had Black Friday. You got to hire a lot of people for Black Friday, and then what happens after the Christmas holidays? They don't make their quota. They got to lay them all off. That's going to relate to an emergency meeting in January. It never freaking fails. Sorry, never fails, and everybody has to put up with whatever's going on. That's why that this was a knee-jerk reaction in the marketplace, and a $900 dollar move or 900-point move on the Nasdaq in the negative. Are you kidding me? It's ridiculous, and I know for a fact it should never have ever happened that way, ever, because there wasn't enough information that Powell gave out that should have even came close to that. That's why I blame it on the media, and they astrolated this so that it would drive even more fear beyond a reasonable comprehension of what's going on. Again, am I expecting a huge bounce back? Absolutely. How much of a bounce back? A massive bounce back. But when? That's the thing. It depends on people's perspective and everything. And then who bought all that SHIB? Okay. We're at 1.99 trillion, guys. And it's going to 2, and we're at 626. So 2 trillion. Yeah, we just hit 2 trillion. 2 trillion in volume on SHIB. So somebody's buying it. I'm not sure who. We'll find out in the next couple of days because they can't hide those numbers. That's the thing. Unless it's Grayscale. Grayscale can hide those numbers because he won't buy. I don't believe that all of a sudden they'll just show up and they'll be at the top end of this. Fidelity, Morgan Stanley, Bank of America, those banks, if they're buying it, it's going to be in secret. So because they don't want it on their books. Okay. So it'll be in secret. It'll be done through a different wallet. The American Bank with the 54.9 billion SHIB that they have. Could they be buying it? Absolutely. But again, same thing. All of it will be hush, 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 and it'll be under the radar. So it'll be moved on exchanges, then moved on instantly off of an exchange to a different wallet or a DeFi wallet or cold storage. It will not be on the market for very long unless they plan on reducing SHIB circulating supply with it. But in order for them to do that, it would be a massive, massive number. 120 trillion to 124 trillion SHIB is not enough to move the markets, to move SHIB. Okay. Even if they won't, there's nobody that can accumulate all that SHIB except for an exchange. They're the only ones that can manipulate it so that they would benefit from it. So the only ones that would buy that much SHIB with little drawback. So the drawback would be the amount of that gets outside of what they're trying to do. So they can't buy it all because it's insane. Like if you looked at SHIB's price value throughout the world, it's insane. It's just insane to look at. You're looking at millions of SHIB being transferred like every second. So, and then you got billions every couple seconds, and then trillion every other, like every other within 15, 20 seconds. Anyway, I'm Will, your host. This was pleasant and fun. I gave you a little bit of brief breakdown on what's going on in the markets. We can expect a big bounce in the weekend. So prepare for that. I don't know how much of a bounce we're going to get, but I would think probably pretty heavy. And where we go from here, it can go down still. It still looks like there's a lot of negative sentiment. We are in the green when it comes to coming up a little bit, and we should skyrocket. I don't think we'll get a God candle. This would be like a God candle over here, right? Where it goes to all-time highs. And the only reason why that is because we would need to see like 200, 300 trillion SHIB changing hands to see that happen. Because all of a sudden, there's no, hey, what happened to all the sellers? Exactly. What happened to all those sellers? They're gone. Because they just got liquidated. And how would they get liquidated? By a massive exchange buying them. Or Ethereum, Vladimir Buterin putting a team together and buying it. BTC, people that were buying BTC sell BTC, then they buy SHIB. That could happen. Only because BTC's price is so large that somebody is sitting on a massive amount of Bitcoin, looks at SHIB and says, you know what, SHIB's so undervalued right now, I'm going to buy it. And then they could basically buy half the supply fairly quickly for like little or no extra cost to them, right? So, because I think our market cap is at $11 billion market cap. Hold a second. I used to see on here. 10 billion. Oh, got to go into the crypto exchanges, and we'll do the count, right? Jason, we're supposed to do the count tonight, right? Coin market cap. Yeah, we'll do the coin cap. We'll do the cap. Okay, right now, BTC number one. That count. We'll share it. Okay, so we can follow along. BTC 97,142. Ethereum, ETH 3,415.062. XRP $2.29. BNB 667.57. Solana 195.33. Doge 31 cents. Cardano 88 cents. 89 cents. Tron TRX 25 cents. Just so that you know, Tron, William, the CEO, has a massive amount of SHIB, roughly around 500 billion SHIB, okay, from their organization. So they're solidified in the count, okay? Avalanche, AVXA, AVAX, 39.26. Chainlink, LINK, 23.16. $23.16. Toncoin, TON, $5.21. SHIB, number 14, on the list. Our baby, our family, our mixture. 402173. Woo, down. Woo. 10% on the day, 21.55 on the week. Number 15, SUI, $4.12. Stellar, XLM. A lot of people have been talking about it. XLM, XRP, buy them because they're going to go to the roof, go to the moon. I said they're not going to go anywhere unless they have a lot of SHIB. Guess what? They don't have a lot of SHIB. Might have something to do with why they probably don't move very much, except that the last little week they more than doubled their money. So Stellar, XLM, 37 cents. Polkadot, $7.05. Down 20.93 on the week, 7.64% on the day. HBAR, another one that's highly talked about, number 18, 27 cents right now. Bitcoin Cash, BCH, 441.08. Leo gets $9.12. Uniswap, number 21, $12.91. Litecoin, LTC, 171 cents. Pepe, 7139. Near Protocol, NEAR, $5.29. Aptos, APT, $11.64, number 25, APT. Biget, BGB, $4.39, number 27, Ether. Won't talk about it. It says a stable coin. DA, stable coin. Internet computing, $10.35. It slipped, right? Remember, it was at number 26. Now it's at number 29. $10.35. AAVE, $361.99. That's number 30. And Cardano's, Crow, $16.35. And Polygon Matic, 32.48 cents. Ethereum Classic, ETC, 27.08. And we're going to close it off at Mantle MNT, $1.17. And Reader at 35, $7.30. Everything is down in the red. If you notice, there's only a couple up. There's BGB, BitGet token, and it's up 39% on the week and 2.17 on the day. Okay, everything's moving upward, sorta. Shiba's up 116 right now. Oh, just dropped down to 86. What was that? 116? That was up 86. That's how fast things change in SHIB. Like I said before, when you have a reducing circulating supply, it should not have this effect on it. There should never be this much sell-off. And we are at $12.813 billion in market cap. Market cap in SHIB, it doesn't really matter. As you learn more, you'll find out why. Everybody that's been watching the channel, hopefully they have. Yeah. So you want me to go up, Jason? Here, I'll go up a little bit on this. Yeah, go right here. Okay. Show everybody. Show everybody. Okay, so that was the count. That's what we're talking about when we come on, is sometimes we do the count. Tonight we decide we're going to do the count because I promised Jason that I would do the count tonight. So that's one aspect of what we do. We also bring some theatrics to the channel. We try and give some insight what's going on. Hopefully we answer some of your questions and concerns about what's happening. I watched Powell, and I didn't see anything in there that would have drastically, if anything, the market should have rebounded the opposite way. They didn't, so this is what gives me the intention that this was all fear. Because when I looked at the analytics that was being mentioned on Fox and CNN and MSNBC, all of them were Fox was not covering the markets, but MSNBC was, and they're very negative on it. And that's what I think they're just installing more and more fear into the markets that they didn't need. It was overdone. It was ridiculous. The Fed still cut interest rates by 2.5%. Are you kidding me? They didn't talk about the fact that the market we're doing really well, though they're not, and they said that they were going to put their foot on the brakes but it doesn't give them much room more to reduce the interest rate. So that's why they're kind of like on the fence, but they're always on the fence this time of the year. I just thought they would have done better because of the new incoming president into the States. They usually do. They usually do a little better for them coming into it. So, but they haven't. I think it has a lot to do with a lot of people don't like Trump. Period. And we should have not sold off this badly. This was all fear mongering between everybody. So please keep that in mind. All right, guys, I'm going to call it a night. Wish everybody all the very best. We're going to do a shout out to Jason. We're going to do a shout out to Prince. Shout out to Babe's channel. Shout out to Wena. Shout out to Rowena. Shout out to Gabriel. Shout out to Disclosure. Thanks for coming. I haven't seen you come in yet, but maybe you're coming in later. Gabriel, thanks for coming and taking part at least. I was hoping to get more people in, but hey, it is what it is. As we get closer to Christmas, hopefully we can host a raffle soon. I'd love it. I can't wait to share that experience with everybody. So if we don't have enough tickets sold by Saturday, what we'll probably do is we'll show you what it's like to actually have a raffle. There won't be any money involved, but there'll be tickets. Maybe we'll have some prizes for Christmas. I don't know. It's a thought. Want to know your thoughts on that? Yeah, good night. God bless and take good care, everybody. Thanks for coming. Love to see you. Disclosure. It's a little early. You never want to catch a fallen knife if you're putting much into it. So if you're just DCAing in 25, 40 bucks, then it's okay. Absolutely. But just keep in mind that $40 or $50 isn't going to change much on your portfolio. So keep that in mind. Wait for, if you're willing to put more money into it. Well, tomorrow it's $3.33, Jason. We don't need to worry about anything, right? You probably won't come on and see me in the afternoon if it's $3.33 by tomorrow night. Well, you need a lot going on to be $3.33. Not saying it can't happen. It just need a lot going on. A lot going on. Like, I don't know who you're talking to, but it would be nice to see if we could get, I don't know, the national banks to start talking about it, and then you could see 3.3. You could definitely see 3.33 by tomorrow. Absolutely, you could see it if you got the UK, Spain, the head of Spain, the head of Germany, Greece, Italy. If you got President Trump to got the Fed to look into SHIB drastically, they could do that too. But I guarantee you that they will not buy it. They will confiscate it, right? U.S. Congress is lethal, guys. They are lethal. They are the biggest crooks in the world. And they will steal it from everybody in the States before they purchase a single SHIB. They already did it with the FTX, okay? And the only reason why they didn't do it with Journey is because none of them were paying attention, because there were 7 trillion SHIB up for grabs when Journey, if you remember, when Journey was selling, they didn't try, they did sell their SHIB, okay, when they fell into financial difficulties. And that's an exchange. FTX was another exchange. So, if you don't get SHIB, and they didn't have enough of them, because if they did, they could have offset it. But SHIB would not be at where it's at right now. SHIB would be a lot higher. You need a lot more than 7 trillion SHIB. You need 20 trillion SHIB just to be able to cut out Ethereum. So just so that you know, it takes a lot of SHIB to make it worth your while. So on that regard, okay, for the national banks to take advantage of it, you have to know the people up the top. If you knew them, you could tell them, listen, you might want to buy some SHIB. And when they looked into it and did the research into it, I guarantee you it would take a couple weeks, 3-4 weeks before they would even see them start to acquire SHIB. Okay, so it wouldn't be overnight, but it would be fast. Let's say it wouldn't be fast, especially with a market cap of only 12 billion. Okay, and these companies hold. They need to make a lot of money. Okay, Russia. Yes, you talk to someone in Russia, Putin or his finance minister. He's got 4 of them. If you knew them, tomorrow you wake up and it'll be over $3.33. I guarantee it. That's one way of doing it, Jason. That's one way of doing it. All right, buddy. Have a great and wonderful night, everybody. Thank God. God bless each and every one of you. Chances of it happening are very, very slim. But yeah, it's nice to think. Yeah, you have to tell the right person. Yes, definitely have to tell the right person. China could do it too in a heartbeat, but China won't put 12 billion, $30 billion to work unless they're guaranteed they're going to get 80 to 90% of the total supply. There's no way they're going to stick their thing in it, their thumb in it, unless they're guaranteed, and they have to be guaranteed that they're going to be able to drive the market to it, right? China doesn't do anything unless it's from them. So got to keep that in mind too. All right, everybody, have a good and wonderful evening. Take good care of yourselves. God bless each and every one of you. Thank you. And disclosure, have a great and wonderful evening too. Babe's channel, cheers. Jason, Prince, thanks for coming, guys. Really been a slice. Thank you. Have a great and wonderful evening, everybody. And we'll rock out. Peace. Yeah.